if I could please get everyone's attention, if we could please take our seats, we will be starting very soon. Thank you. So if everyone could quickly find their seats so that we can start as soon as possible. Thank you.
Testing? Oh, there we go. Hello, everyone. We're about to start the event in about 2-3 minutes. Would you like to hear one more performance before we begin? All right, let's do that. All right, let's give it up one more time for Grace Ensemble. Yeah, I really like Coldplay, so that was a treat for me. All right, can everyone please be seated now? We're about to start the event. Yes. Yes, please be seated. Do we not have enough seats? All right. Good afternoon, everyone. How are we all? Fantastic. All right. My name is Paul Yim, and I will be your MC for today's event. Thank you. Okay, let's start with a simple question. What is the strongest, most powerful, most effective weapon in the world? Have a second to think about it. Yes, don't just shout out anything. Think about it. Okay. Do you know what it is? Actually, we all probably own one. In fact, most of us probably have one with us right now. Can you guess what it is? Heart. Oh, okay. It's a very lovely answer. I think our... Okay. Let me tell you what it is. Behold! The pen. All right. To be fair, our counselor here actually got it right, but I didn't want him to spoil it for me, so I pretend like I didn't notice. But good job, counselor. All right. Distinguished guest, my fellow pen wielders, you might be wondering why I'm saying this simple pen is the most powerful, most effective strongest weapon in the world? Well, you see, it's not about what it is, but what it represents. Because bombs and guns, yeah, they kill people, and they are very effective weapons. However, bombs and guns, that's all they do. You see, they are only a slave to the hand that triggers it. But the pen is different. In fact, those guns and bombs, they might not even be used in the first place because of the pen. The pen can decide a person's fate. It can decide the fate of a nation or even the whole world. The pen is diplomatic. It helps us to reason. It helps us to share our thoughts. To put it simply, the pen is our voice. Wow. All right, so at this point, you're probably thinking, all right, well, what's your point? Yeah, we get it. Pen's powerful. What's the point? Well, through today's event, you will all witness how the pen works as a weapon. Not a weapon for war, but a weapon for peace. Are you all excited? Yeah! All right. Great. So what are we going to do with the pens? Well, we're going to do what they do best. Let's all write letters. Some people forced reaction. It's okay. Thank you for still trying to support me. Okay. Now, what kind of letters? You might ask, what kind of letter are we going to write? We are going to write love letters. A love letter for who? A love letter for our world. Oh. A letter for a better tomorrow. A letter for unity and for harmony. We call these letters peace letters. How much does the youth of the world actually want peace? These peace letters are a testament to the will of the world's youth. Within 2 years, in fact, our organization, IPYG, the International Peace Youth Group, has gathered 170,000 peace letters from the youth across the world. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot. That is a lot. So what exactly are these peace letters? Good question. Let's go through it. A peace letter is a handwritten letter written by a member of the global youth, you guys. It's to urge the presidents or heads of states of their countries to support and sign the Declaration of Peace and Cessation of War, also known as the DPCW. The DPCW aims to make a legally binding code of conduct for nations to stand by, and in order to develop the DPCW into a proper full-fledged legal code, it is essential to raise awareness and to get support from heads of states and governments. Then what exactly is the DPCW? The DPCW is a code of law which aims to be a legally binding document on an international level. It consists of 10 articles and 38 clauses. The DPCW aims to not only resolve existing conflicts, but also prevent future conflicts and to sustain a lasting peace. As of last year, youth from 23 countries have participated in writing peace letters. And their letters have been delivered to 9 former and current prime ministers in 8 countries. Now, isn't that amazing? Just like this, during our conference, we will set aside a time for us to also have the opportunity to write our own personal, handwritten letters, which will be delivered not only to the high-level figures of Australia, but also to the heads of state of the Pacific Island nations. From now on, I will walk you through how to write the peace letters. We have placed a paper and an envelope in each of your seats. Can you please look for them? If you cannot find them, please raise your hand and we'll get one of the volunteers to be with you shortly. Okay, a lot of people at the back. Yes, please give out the paper and envelope. Okay, do we all have them now? Anyone still, yeah, those guys at the back? All right, we'll get started once everyone has their paper and envelope. Whoa, brother, please, be careful with that pen. Remember, it's the most powerful weapon in the world. All right, you got to be careful. All right. If we're all ready, let's very carefully pick up our pens and let's get ready to write. However, before we do that, let me quickly go through how we should start the letters, okay? So briefly introduce yourself to the person, and of course, address the person that you are writing to. This will, of course, be the heads of state of your respective countries. Now, the mail may include one of three ideas, okay? Now, these are just outlines. You don't have to necessarily go by them, but if you can't think of anything, you can use one of these three ideas. So number one, how you came to know IPYG and how you came to this conference. Okay, so to explain a bit more about our organization, that would be very nice, thank you. Number two, what we want from the presidents and heads of states to do for peace. Okay, so any ideas that you might have, use your youthful minds. Share with your leaders. Number three, encourage or urge them to be part of the peace work of IPYG and HWPL by supporting the DPCW. So do you guys remember the 3 points, or do I need to go through them again? You all remember? Of course. We're all young, right? Right, counselor? Oh, yeah. All right, now we will give you 10 minutes to write the letters. When you are done, please make sure you keep them, okay? Hold on to them. Do not lose them, please. Because during the conference, we will have time to take a group picture together with all the letters in our hands. So once again, please do not lose your letters. The letters we write today will be delivered to the heads of states of your respective countries. Now, as we write these letters, I would like each and every one of us to think about what we are writing them for. A war cannot be won by a soldier who does not believe in victory. We are also soldiers right now. But for us, our objective is to secure the rights of every person in this world to not have to die in the futility of war. Then with what kind of attitude should we write these letters? If fighting for peace is like fighting a war, then let the inks in our pens be like our bullets. Let each of these letters be like our grenades. The power is now in our hands. Use your voices. Believe that if we work together as one, we can achieve what we fight for. Everyone, are you ready? Yes. Are you ready? Yes. All right. Have you ever heard people be so excited to write letters? Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Yeah. So lift up your pens, prepare your papers, and speak with your hearts as you write. Once again, you have about 10 minutes. Now, if you happen to be extra passionate and you need more time to write, then we will give you extra time later on, okay? So please do not feel like you're being rushed. Okay, then, shall we begin? Let's all write.
없는 평화의 세상 행복이 가득한 평화 세상 만들자
We can do it.
평화를 원하는 청년들이여 이제는 우리가 만들어가자 평화를 원하는 청년들이여 이제는 우리가 달려갈 시간
We can do it.
할 수 있다 열정으로 하나 된 청년들 평화 세상 만들어간 이 시대의 주
go. We can do it. Come on. Hey, here we go.
우리 모두 원한 평화 세상 전 세계가 원한 평화 세상 웃음이 가득한 평화 세상 만들자
I can do it.
사람들은 원한 평화 세상 전쟁이 없는 평화의 세상 행복이 가득한 평화 세상 만들자
We can do it.
평화를 원하는 청년들이여 이제는 우리가 만들어가자 평화를 원하는 청년들이여 이제는 우리가 달려갈 시간
We can do it.
할 수 있다 열정으로 하나 된 청년들 평화 세상 만들어가 이 시대의 주인공은 너야 할 수 있다 열정으로 하나 된 청년들 우리 하나가 된다면 평화 세상은 바로 지금 할 수 있다 열정으로 하나 된 청년들 평화 세상 만들어가 이 시대의 주인공은 너야 할 수 있다 열정으로 하나 된 청년들 우리 평화를 원해요 평화의 바람 불어와 함께라면 할 수 있어 우리 함께 평화의 세계
testing 1 2 3 1 2 3 testing 1 2 3 1 2 3 testing
Okay, everyone, we're about to begin the Youth Peace Conference, so please take your seats. We're about to start the next part of our events. Did we all have fun writing our letters? Okay, very good. Is it anyone still writing? Ah, very passionate, or maybe just slow, I don't know. All right, did we all take our seats? Okay, before I move on, I'd like to introduce the title of today's main event. Are you guys ready? But before we begin, in my script, it says in brackets, audience applauses very loudly and full of passion. Not now. Once I say the title. Yeah, so I just wanted to say, if you guys don't do that, then it's going to be very embarrassing for me. So please help me out. But I trust you guys because you seem to be very passionate. All right. So, are you guys ready? The title of today's event is Youth Makes Tomorrow. Unity and harmony. Whoa, guys. Guys, please, too much. Stop, it's too much. Too much passion. It's starting to get hard to breathe in here with all that passion stuffing the room up. Whew. All right. To cool us down, how about we watch a promotional video for HWPL? Okay, so may I ask the video to run?
We are an international peace organization, a group of people who love the global community. We have come together in the noble cause of peace. We identify the causes of conflict and present a solution for peace. A peace movement that began the Republic of Korea, the world's only divided country, is drawing global attention to the Korean Peninsula. Bringing together peace-loving people around the world, HWPL has emerged as a peace NGO well regarded by the international community. With a determination to achieve a world without war, we proclaimed the Declaration of World Peace in 2013, and in the following year, agreements on practical ways to achieve peace were signed before the eyes of the world. After that, we proposed a solution for peace, the DPCW of provisions that can prevent conflicts and disputes, and sought ways to foster religious harmony that promotes a peaceful communication between religions. For children, leaders of the future, HWPL Peace Values Education is being implemented so that they can grow into citizens with the ideas and values of peace. We are leading the future to achieve the common goal of peace. We are HWPL. We are creating a new order for the world. After the tragic experiences of the First and Second World Wars, the world has made active movements towards peace, such as establishing the United Nations. But still, many factors of conflict are threatening such movements towards peace. Why is it necessary to draw up a new law? If the existing laws were already complete, it would be unnecessary to draft a new one. But since it is impossible to put an end to wars of this world with the existing laws, I ask you to develop an international legal instrument that can stand as law forever.
국제법이 될 수 있도록 잘 만들어 주시길 부탁드립니다.
For this reason, we prepared a document by which the international community can guarantee peace regardless of nationality, ethnicity, and race and protect citizens' daily lives. The HWPL International Law Peace Committee, composed of renowned legal experts, completed a new declaration that can compensate for the weaknesses of current international law and cease wars based on the Declaration of World Peace. After proclaiming the 10 articles and 38 clauses of the Declaration of Peace and Cessation of War on March 14, 2016, advocacy activities are being undertaken worldwide to advocate the implementation of the DPCW. The Central American Parliament passed a resolution in support of the DPCW. With the support of the UN permanent representatives of 145 countries, the DPCW will be introduced to the UN in the form of a draft resolution. In Africa, a region desperate for peace, the legislative body of the African Union called the Pan-African Parliament signed a peace agreement with HWPL. Eswatini, Seychelles, and Comoros expressed support at the national level. Not only that, the International Center for Black Sea Baltic Studies and Consensus Practices, which is composed of Eastern European leaders who played a role in the breakup of the Soviet Union, signed a peace agreement with HWPL. This laid the foundation for garnering Europe's support for the DPCW. They are also working for the peaceful unification of the Korean Peninsula, the world's only divided nation. They have gathered signatures in support of this cause from political, cultural, educational, and legal experts. With them who have found the clear solution for peace, the DPCW, and are making voluntary moves, we will change world history into peace. Religion is returning to its original role and restoring peace. Humanity has advanced along with religion, and religion is deeply related to areas such as politics, economy, philosophy, arts, and science. Consequently, religious conflicts are major obstacles to peace and account for a high percentage of wars today. For this reason, we established the World Alliance of Religion's Peace Office to resolve interfaith conflicts and restore religion to its original role. Here, standards for determining a trustworthy religious scripture are proposed and discussed to resolve the issue of religion, the biggest challenge of today. Currently, meetings are being held at 219 offices in 128 countries. The effort to promote religious harmony through the comparison of religious scriptures is regarded as an innovative initiative. According to the World Alliance of Religion's agreement that was signed at the 2014 World Peace Summit, religious leaders around the world are coming together as one for peace. We are also hosting religious peace camps so that youth around the world can grow into actors for peaceful conflict resolution. While participating in the camp, the youth learn the history of the world's religions and seek solutions to the fundamental causes of religious conflicts. For the realization of peace, we are bringing together the world's religious leaders for religions to stop conflicts and become one and enhancing understanding of religion through cultural exchanges. We are building peace that will last for future generations. As the saying goes, if your plan is for 100 years, educate children, and proper education can change the future. We are training peace educators who will plant the seed of peace in students and teach precious values to them so that future generations can create a happy future themselves. Peace education is provided with teaching materials that contain the values such as sanctity of life, loyalty and filial piety, and coexistence and sustainability. The teaching materials have been provided to HWPL Peace Academies around the world, and they are being used in accordance with the local education system. Several countries have already promised policy support for HWPL Peace education, which nurtures future leaders with the values and spirit of peace. Through peace education, our children will grow into future peace ambassadors and protect peace permanently. The world is discussing, practicing, and witnessing peace. In September every year, peace-loving people from around the world come to Korea. The World Peace Summit, which is a global festival of peace, is well regarded as a systemically organized event, even when compared to other international conferences. The World Peace Summit is where the true love for humanity and spirit of peace are practiced. Here, anyone can experience peace firsthand. The World Peace Summit gave the Republic of Korea a new modifier, Republic of Peace. It is a grand festival of peace that enhances national prestige. Each year, HWPL's Family of Peace have in-depth discussions at the summit. They see the progress of each project, from the implementation of the DPCW to religious harmony to peace education, and check the future direction. Also, they are given the responsibility and role as peace ambassadors. To members of the HWPL Peace Advisory Council and those who have made outstanding contributions, Peace Awards are presented to encourage their further participation in peace activities. A global festival of peace, the World Peace Summit establishes a new benchmark for peace. The global family of peace communicate with each other. Keeping pace with the new era of peace opened by the heavens, we meet the global family of peace again today for world peace and cessation of war. Traveling the world tirelessly, HWPL has engaged in non-governmental diplomacy on its own without any national support. Wherever the peace delegation reached, people from all walks of life came together as one, transcending nationality, race, and religion. Influential leaders such as presidents, prime ministers, chief justices, and religious leaders around the world have become members of HWPL Peace Advisory Council, forming a strong network of peace. Also, journalists have become HWPL publicity ambassadors, taking the lead in reporting about our peace activities. The world is quickly becoming one with us for the common wish, peace.
We are one!
The world recognizes and remembers our achievements. The numerous peace activities that we have carried out influence places in need of peace. In recognition of such contributions, many awards and certificates have been presented from different countries. However, the true peace award that we want is peace being actually achieved on the earth. Places around the world, special days that are related to us are declared as HWPL Days, which all people celebrate as holidays of peace. Each year, January 24th is celebrated as the Mindanao Peace Agreement Day, May 25th as the Declaration of World Peace Day, and September 18th as the World Alliance of Religion Day. To commemorate the day on which promises were made for peace and cessation of war, the monument to the success of the World Peace Summit was erected. Many are voluntarily joining in to erect the monument in their respective countries. The world cities have become bases for HWPL's culture of peace, promoting peace, harmony, and development. Our peace efforts for the past several years were put together in a book and published in 2018. The book, The True Story of HWPL, contains ways to achieve global peace. It is placed in government agencies, university libraries, and national museums of different countries.
We will continue on with the event. So the video was nearly over. We will now introduce to everyone about the delegation of HWPL. So everyone, please give a very loud round of applause to the delegations of HWPL, IPYG, IWPG, and to the host of this conference, Chairman Man Hee Lee. Wow. It's really hot outside right now, isn't it? Yes, but I was hoping to escape the heat by coming inside here, but I realized that the heat from the passionate hearts of everyone here is actually hotter. Wow. Before we start our main program, I would like to once again thank everyone here for joining us and gathering here today. I'm sure that our gathering here will be recorded in history as one chapter of achievement of peace. I personally like this quote from Mahatma Gandhi. "You must be the change you wish to see in the world." With this quote in mind, let's have an attitude that change might be difficult, but it has to start somewhere. Our gathering today might not change the world overnight, but starting is half the challenge. And today's event will most definitely be a step in the right direction. So here today, we are gathered with many delegations and civil societies under the name of peace. They are all very wise individuals, our honored guests, with lots of experience and insights to share through their many, many years of experiences. I would now like to ask all of our youth members to really heed the message of today's honored guest and take to heart their words. Because they have given up their valuable time to be with us today, it is important that we give each of them a proper welcoming and introduction. So please make allowances for us as we introduce to them one by one. We also have a lot of members from youth organizations joining us today. Where are the youth organization members? Now, of course, we would also love to introduce all of you guys one by one. But because of time restrictions, please do forgive us. I ask for your understanding as we only have so much time. Now, please allow me the privilege to introduce our honored guests, starting with the delegation of HWPL and the branch organizations IPYG and IWPG. First of all, the chairman of HWPL, Mr. Man Hee Lee. Yes. Next, the General Director of IPYG, Mr. Youngmin Chung. And finally, the Chairwoman of IWPG, Ms. Hyun-suk Yoon. Next, we also have many VIPs with us, our honored guests. Let me introduce them to you one by one. First of all, we have His Excellency Iakoba Te Italeli. Next, we have His Excellency Bartholomew Parapolo. He is from the Ministry of Culture and Tourism of the Solomon Islands. And Your Excellency, I'm very sorry, I forgot to introduce your title. He's the Governor General of Tuvalu. Next, we have Ms. Anthea Arukole, the first political advisor, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Vanuatu. Next, we have the Honorable Jeffrey Kamal from the Deputy Speaker of the House of Assembly of Papua New Guinea. Next, we have Honorable Elias Chamsek Chin, the Senate of Palau Government. Next, we have Honorable Tebuai Uae, National Speaker of the House of Assembly of Kiribati. Next, we have Honorable Christopher Loeak, the former President of Government of the Marshall Islands. Next, we have Mrs. Sela Finau, National Policy Manager of the Ministry of Pacific Peoples of New Zealand. Okay, next one's hard. I've been practicing this a lot. Let's see if I get it right. Miss Temalate Manakovi Elia Motua Pahulu. Yes. She's the Acting Chief Executive Officer of the Ministry of Justice of Tonga. Next, we have Honorable Alipate Tuikolo Nagata, Assistant Minister of the Ministry of Youth and Sports. And next, we have Her Excellency Hinuari Petana. The Government of Samoa, Head of Missions in Australia. Next, we have Councillor Stephen Barber. He is the Deputy Mayor of the North Sydney Council. Next, we have Councillor Nick Maxwell. He's the Councillor of Believe Hill Wards, Woolarra Municipal Council. And finally, we have Councillor Lynn Seville, Councillor of Willoughby City Council. As mentioned earlier, we also have several youth organizations here with us today, with many of their members participating. Please look to the screen to see the list of the youth organizations that are gathered here today. Very lovely, so many. Once again, I welcome all the participants here on behalf of IPYG. Let's give all of our honored guests and our young organization members another very warm round of applause. I would now like to call upon our first speaker, the distinguished councillor Stephen Barber, he's the Deputy Mayor of the North Sydney Council. I would like to invite him to deliver his congratulatory messages. Please give him a warm round of applause.
Al, is that on? Yes. Wow, thank you very much. Good afternoon, all. I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of this land on which we meet today and pay my respects to the elders of these lands, past, present and into the future. Moreover, I would sincerely like to thank the Chairman, Mr. Man Hee Lee, for hosting and inviting me to such a meaningful peace conference. Thank you. My name is Stephen Barber and I am the Deputy Mayor of North Sydney Council, and I would like to extend my warmest welcome to all the visitors of this city, our city, on behalf of myself and the North Sydney Mayor Gilly Gibson. I know on behalf of fellow councillors, politicians and other citizens of Australia, thank you for being here. I shall try to say hello in several languages. I apologise in case I get any wrong. So hello, Apinun, Wanyi di Hibon, Bienvenue, Dori Ben Utu, Mamadia Rose Hai, Umaman Tikwan, Maho Bula, good afternoon, and of course, g'day. I would like to welcome all distinguished guests from overseas and the HWPL, which is having its 30th World Peace Tour here in Sydney to promote peace and share in practical ways in which we all can achieve this. IPYG, International Peace Youth Group, is a worldwide leading youth peace group in collaborating with more than 850 other youth organisations in 111 countries. The IPYG needs to reach all our fellow citizens and spread the word of the culture of peace. Beyond homes, borders, regions, countries, ideologies, politics and religions. The IPYG seeks to empower communities around the world, including Australia, to realise, as the astronauts did in the 60s when they looked back at this planet for the first time from space, this planet is just a blue ball floating in space. This is all we have, and we are all it has to make it work. As a councillor for 9 years at North Sydney and a third-time Deputy Mayor, I am proud to say that North Sydney and our state representatives want to make this a better world for all our citizens, both young and old. Because I know the youth want to make a difference, not just for yourselves, but also for your friends, your brothers, sisters, girlfriends, boyfriends, and even your grandparents. This is not possible without guidance and tolerance, without people realising that happy families leads to happy neighbourhoods, and that leads to happy communities, which leads to happy countries, and a cornerstone of achieving happiness, which is, of course, peace. But it has to be more than words. It has to be enshrined in guidelines. Why? All of us are at different points in our lives and at different points in understanding tolerance. It is amazing that the youth are leading this work of establishing a foundation of peace by supporting the Declaration of Peace and the cessation of war. I am also excited to witness the signed petition by all our voices to be delivered to the national leaders through the peace letter today. It is in fact proof that the youth are changing the world and the power lies with you. What we all want, though, is a chance to enjoy our life. So we need ways to enable this to happen, of course. The youth of today, you guys, inspire me. You make me feel responsible to do the right thing, to be motivated to do what I can for you and what will be your children. I grew up in Papua New Guinea, where there were tribal wars but also tribal meetings. And these meetings were to resolve conflicts, and conflict resolution is a means to peace. It's a means to happiness, it's a means to prosperity. If it's not financial prosperity, it is the prosperity of the soul and the spirit. I stand as a kid who grew up in Papua New Guinea before you now as a Deputy Mayor of North Sydney Council. I straddle two cultures and I belong to both. Or as I might say, mi pula belong Papua New Guinea, tasol nami kamapol semol geta, nami pula Deputy Mayor. Lord, thank you. Now, thank you, Tomas. Now, me pula Deputy Mayor, long display North Sydney Council, me hamamas Tomas long all geta, come along display place, and all geta you like in peace, belong you me all geta. Thank you, Tomas. Australia is where I was born, the Pacific is where I was formed, and my heart will always be there, which is why I'm so privileged to be talking to you today. We are not united by language, religion, colour or creed, but we are united by a desire for peace and a good life. You can lead by example with a cause that is just too great to ignore. Others will follow. You don't have to be the biggest, the richest or even the smartest. You may have to be the bravest. The human experience is one of peace and harmony, and this allows us to live a life to its fullest, shoulder to shoulder, child to child, youth to youth, adult to adult. This is the noblest of causes. This is the place in this part of the world that we need to help as a contributor to our planet's evolution and our society's betterment. Our children and our families living in a world we are capable of creating, and you are capable of continuing. This world, a world of peace, is truly worth working for. I will do my best through local council. Now it's up to you to do your best, and I know you can. Again, I thank the HWPL and the HPYG for hosting this conference, and this moment will be recorded as one in the chapter of history for peace. Thank you, because we are one.
Thank you very, very much for your heartfelt message, Councillor. Yes, we are indeed one. And I would like to really thank you for showing your support for HWPL and IPYG. Thank you very much. Next, we have the Honourable Christopher Loeck, former President of the Governor of the Marshall Islands. He will deliver a speech for us regarding the importance of the role of youth in bringing peace. Please welcome the Honourable with a big round of applause.
me to come to center stage. So, but I would like to associate myself with the gentleman's words a while ago that today is a right step toward peace. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, first let me add my recognition to the custodian of this land, and also thanks the kindly introduction. And I'd like to give a special thanks to Chairman Man Healy for the invitation and hosting me today. Allow me to also take this opportunity to thank HWPL and partners for the tireless and important works we have done and continue to do so to promote peace and security not only in country but also throughout our global community. I am honored to be here, particularly with our young people, to share a few words with you this afternoon. Many around the world know little about my home, the Marshall Islands, or its history. It is a beautiful country made up of more than 1,000 individual islands in 24 low-lying coral atolls in the Northern Pacific, such 2,000-some miles southwest of Hawaii. We are a proud nation. When you fly over our atoll rings in an airplane, the sight is breathtaking in its beauty. At the same time, it dawns upon you how vulnerable our atoll homes really is. There are only 4 island atoll nations in the world. We lie at an average of 2 meters or 6 feet above sea level. With these unique qualities, we face threats from global phenomena such as climate change. In the event of global warming, not only do we face rising temperatures causing oceans to expand, but we are also seeing change as emission into the water eating away at the coral beneath our feet. I wanted to bring this up with the young folks in this room today because not only is climate change one of the single greatest threats to our world and human race that we face today, but it simply cannot be solved without engaging young people. While islands always change, the events our local communities see now, salt water coming into our drinking water and affecting our staple crops, coastal erosion in islands both remote and developed, are things our elders did not witness. This is not the first time Marshall Island has faced difficult threats. After World War II, the Marshall Islands endured 67 nuclear tests, including the Bravo shot that was 1,000 times more powerful than the nuclear bomb that was dropped on Hiroshima. The nuclear testing not only destroyed lives, but left islands inevitable for generations and turned local communities from their homeland, a situation which still remains in some of our islands. In 1954 and 1956, we petitioned the United Nations to stop nuclear testing. We warned of the harm, but we were met with indifference. If only they had listened then. Today, we face climate threats, but again, the international community is not listening. In the long term, the 60,000 marginalized people of my country stand to lose our homes, our livelihoods, our history, our peace and security, and our culture. In 2015, world leaders adopted the Paris Agreement at the COP21 in Paris. These agreements call for each and every one of us at the national, regional, and international levels to combat climate change and to accelerate the actions and investment we need for a sustainable, low-carbon future. We cannot afford to make empty promises. We need to make a commitment to do our part and lead our countries and local communities toward a safer path. Otherwise, we fail. I have traveled far from home to bring this message to you. I am first and foremost a brother, husband, father, and grandfather to young people like you. And as such, it is my responsibility to ensure that my children, grandchildren, and my people get to live in and enjoy a future that they deserve, that we deserve. And I believe the Paris Agreement and HWPL's Declaration of Peace and Cessation of War is a step in the right direction. Through peaceful dialogues and collective implementation of these instruments, the cessation of war, peace, and security are possible. Words, after all, are more powerful than weapons. As civil servants, however, we cannot do this on our own. Article 10 of the TPCW calls our youth because your engagement is imperative to our survival, peace, and security, which is why spaces like this for our young people is critically important. We need your energy, your creativity, your talents, and your drive. We need you to organize and hold your leaders accountable. When the United States dropped the 67 nuclear bombs on our islands, they told us it was for the good of mankind. Today, now more than ever, your role as young leaders is crucial for the good and survival of mankind. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your message, Honourable. It was very inspiring, and I thank you for bringing to light the issues that your home country is facing. I'm also aware that many of the other Pacific Island nations are facing similar problems, and I hope that through cooperation with HWPL, we can make the international community hear more about the issues of the Pacific Island nations. As the Youth Department of HWPL, IPYG, the International Peace Youth Group, has organized this event together. And I'm very proud to say that IPYG has peace movements in more than 851. We have organizations 851 organizations spanning over 111 countries around the world. Now, let's take a moment to watch closely what IPYG is up to and what projects are taking place with the youth here in Australia. Can we play the video, please?
A gathering of the youth for world peace. International Peace Youth Group, IPYG. In May 2013, 30,000 peace-wishing youth from around the world gathered at the World Peace Gate in Seoul, South Korea. HWPL Chairman Man-hee Lee proposed the answer to achieving cessation of war and world peace to the youth who are threatened by war.
We call on all youth to unite in an effort to stop wars and pursue the restoration of peace by registering to the one and only International Peace Youth Group. With this declaration, the work of world peace begins.
The IPYG was established based on the declaration of world peace for the youth to protect themselves and create a world of peace without war. The IPYG, an organization under the umbrella of HWPL, is working for world peace with 851 youth organizations in 111 countries and 5 million youth as the wings of HWPL. In order to spread the mentality of peace outlined in the Declaration of World Peace, the IPYG established May 25th as the 525 Peace Walk Festival Day, and they commemorate this day yearly with over 1 million people in 106 cities of 41 nations. The IPYG speaks of peace in an era of war and conflict. The IPYG Forum, held during the World Peace Tour, is a priceless and precious time to plant the seed of peace in people's hearts and meet the youth organizations and youth members who will join in the effort for peace.
When a war breaks out, who goes out to the front lines to fight? It's the youth. Neither the politicians nor the laws of our world have been able to compensate the youth whose lives have been sacrificed in wars. A person's life is greater than the whole earth. Peace, where everyone in the world could live in, is what is truly valuable. This is why I do the work of peace without rest. Doing this work of peace is the answer to achieving your peace.
Peace awareness must begin at a young age. As they grow up, peace will become the path to a better future. Through different activities like talking about peace and drawing peace, a tree of peace grows in our hearts. The IPYG supports the DPCW for cessation of war and world peace. The definite answer for cessation of war and world peace. The DPCW, comprised of 10 articles and 38 clauses, is a declaration for the cessation of war and world peace, first conceived by HWPL Chairman Man-hee Lee and drafted by renowned international law experts. The DPCW is a powerful peace declaration that fundamentally prohibits wars, weapons of war, and any and all actions that can lead to war. The 10 articles of the DPCW contain what is essential to the youth of today, such as prohibiting the threat or use of force, peaceful conflict resolution, religious freedom, and spreading a culture of peace. The IPYG holds various support and publicity activities so that the 10 articles and 38 clauses of the DPCW can develop into a legally binding document. The peace letters are handwritten letters asking nations, heads of state to support the 10 articles and 38 clauses of the DPCW so it can be submitted to the UN as a draft resolution. In South Korea, 15,000 handwritten letters asking for the president's support for the DPCW and the peaceful unification of the Korean Peninsula will be delivered to President Moon Jae-in. The peace letter campaign is happening all over the world, sparking a revolutionary way to achieve peace. The IPYG spreads the value of peace through heavenly culture. Every year in September, political leaders, religious leaders, and heads of various organizations Visit South Korea to attend the World Alliance of Religions Peace Summit, a grand peace festival for all people. The youth of the IPYG exhibit and share the value of peace to all guests in attendance. 12,000 IPYG members trained for 5 months to illustrate the true image of war and the practical way to achieve world peace through heavenly culture. The card section touched the hearts of those at the Warp Summit, compelling them to join in the work of peace. The youth who were once sacrifices of war are now protecting themselves from war and fulfilling cessation of war and world peace by planting hearts of peace around the world. The peace being fulfilled by the IPYG can only be achieved when all the youth of the world take part. Let us become messengers of peace with the IPYG.
How was that? Very good, wasn't it? Yes, the youth of Australia also getting involved. Very lovely to watch. Okay, I hope that through this video that we were all able to get a greater understanding of the peace works that IPYG is doing around the world and also here in Australia. Next, we will have Mr. Young-Min Chong, the General Director of the International Peace Youth Group. Mr. Chong has been working to ensure that the youth are well equipped to fulfill their potential and empower them as the next generation's leaders. Mr. Chong will share his experiences with the role of the youth for peace building and peacekeeping processes. Please give a round of applause for Mr. Chong.
Distinguished guests,
존경하는 내빈 여러분,
greetings.
안녕하십니까?
I'm Young-Min Chong,
저는
the General Director of International Peace Group, IPYG. As one of the two wings of HWPL, IPYG is fulfilling the world peace with 851 youth organizations from 111 nations. There are many places in the world that live in peace without wars. However, there are many nations suffering from discrimination and pain, and even at this very moment, loss of life as well. This is why the IPYG is working with the youth around the world in order to make sure that these conflicts will disappear. Ultimately, it is the youth who are dragged off to sacrifice themselves when a war breaks out. Therefore, working together for peace is something that we are doing to protect ourselves, and we believe that this is the way to achieve happiness for all humanity. That is why today I would like to take time to introduce the answer to ending these conflicts and realizing the peace, which is 10 articles and the 38 clauses of the Declaration of Peace and Cessation of War, DPCW. DPCW was drafted by HWPL Chairman Lee and 21 international law experts. The DPCW consists of 10 articles and 38 clauses, as I said. Articles from 1 to 5 pertain to conflict prevention, and Articles 6 to 7 to conflict settlement, and Articles 8 to 10, ways to maintain a peaceful world once built. Unlike the existing international instrument, DPCW is an integrated approach that includes that includes measures to prevent conflict and principles by which any conflict that might arise can be resolved according to the order of the international community. Also, it has ways to maintain a peaceful world once it's built permanently through peace education, media, religious harmony, and civil society, and so on. Also, it addresses the need to reform the principal organs for conflict prevention and resolution, such as United Nations Security Council, International Court of Justice. For this reason, many leaders around the world are calling the DPCW as the answer for world peace, and they are cooperating to introduce the DPCW to the United Nations in the form of a draft resolution. The Pan-African Parliament, which is the legislative body of the African Union consisting of 55 nations of Africa, signed an MOU with HWPL and showed their support for the DPCW. And International Center for Black Sea, Baltic Studies and Consensus Practices, which is composed of former heads of Eastern European countries, also signed an MOU with HWPL and showed their support for the DPCW. Furthermore, member states of the Caribbean Community, or CARICOM, have recognized the need for the DPCW and expressed their support. And UN ambassadors, they gathered to listen to the speech of Chairman Lee when he visited the United Nations last year. And from 145 nations, UN ambassadors and United Nations experts gathered. In this way, the DPCW is securing support in Africa, Central America, Latin America, and Europe. Tomorrow, high-level officers from different Pacific islands will show their support for the DPCW. There is one more thing I would like to say today. Many leaders say those who can change a world and country are citizens. Because a country belongs to its citizens, and the world is made up of global citizens. DPCW is supported by national level, but also loved by global citizens. It has been only 3 years since it was proclaimed. However, more than 700,000 citizens from 176 nations signed in support of DPCW, and more 500 advocacy events were held in 74 nations to support DPCW. Especially Through the IPYG's handwritten letter campaign in 2018, the youth were able to personally deliver their handwritten letter to 7 different heads of states and tens of ministers and governmental officers. In South Korea, more than 160,000 handwritten letters were delivered to the President of South Korea. And this campaign garnered nationwide support and recognition. In this way, the DPSW, which has received national level support alongside the love from the youth and the people, has secured this spot as the answer to world peace, and it is now on its way toward being submitted to the United Nations General Assembly as a resolution. At this point, I want to make a request with all of the youth and people in this room. The youth are the future. We should be the leaders in creating peace in this world, as the responsibilities lie in our hands. Ladies and gentlemen, let us create a world of harmony, peace, and prosperity with our hands. It is not difficult to join. Please, write a letter filled with your longing for peace and the importance of the DPCW and send it to your head of state, as well as neighboring countries and to the world. One person's voice may be small, but the voice of thousands of people coming together will create ripples and waves that cannot be ignored. If we earnestly write about the necessity of the DPCW and world peace, as well as the responsibility of the leaders of our nations, I am confident that they will reply and join our efforts. Ladies and gentlemen, and youngsters here, let us be the driving force and change the future into a world of peace with our own hands. This work that we are doing together is so valuable, and it will not be forgotten. Never forget, our one strong voice will change the world. We are one.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chong, for your speech. It was an encouraging message for the youth to continue their support for the peace works. And thank you also for updating us on the recent peace projects of IPYG. We now call upon Ms. Hyun-Suk Yoon, the chairwoman of the International Women's Peace Group. Ms. Yoon.
인류의 소망이자 이 시대의 과제인 평화를 위해 모여주신 평화
Thank
가족
you so
여러분
much for
반갑습니다.
gathering here today,
저는
everyone.
IWPG
My name is
대표
Yoon
윤현숙입니다.
Hyun-suk, the chairwoman of IWPG.
30차 평화 순방을 아름다운 이곳
It is my honor to
오스트레일리아에서
have
열게 되어 참으로
30th peace journey
기쁩니다.
in beautiful land of Australia.
IWPG는 어머니의 마음으로 전란에서 자녀를
IWPG
지키고
has the
후대의
heart of
평화의
mothers to
세계를
protect our
유산으로
children from
물려주기 위해
wars and
일하고
conflicts,
있습니다.
to leave peace
전
as a
세계
legacy.
100여 개의 지부와
We have about
240여 개의 협력
offices
단체로
around the world
이루어져 있으며
and more than 247
UN
offices,
에코속에 등록되어
and we are
있습니다.
registered in the UN.
HWPL 이 대표님과
Together with
여성그룹과
HWPL
청년그룹이 함께
and
동행하는
IPYG, we are
평화의
working
사절단은
together
지금까지 30차에 걸쳐서 전 세계의
We are going
발걸음이
around the
닿지 않는
world
곳이 없을 정도로
during 30
많은 나라를
times of peace
방문했습니다.
journey.
지구촌 방방곳곳 가는 곳마다
Everywhere we
한결같이
go,
평화를 원했고
we can see everyone
평화로
wants
하나
peace,
되었지만
and we became one with
그중에
peace.
가장 순수하고
However,
평화를
I
갈망하는
can see
곳은 바로 이곳
Australia is the
오세아니아
country
지역인 것
with the purest
같습니다.
heart.
오랜 동안에 지구촌 공동의 과제인
For a long time,
비핵 지대화, 기후
we have been
변화
working
및
for the
환경 등의 문제를
denuclearization
해결하기 위해
and
힘써주신
work for
여러분들의
the
노고에도
environment,
감사드립니다.
and we thank you for your hard work.
우리는 살아가면서 행복하고
While we are
안전한
living
생활을
in this
누리기를
world, we all want
소망합니다.
happy and comfort life.
하지만 우리가 살아가고 있는
However,
이 사회는 아직도 전쟁과 폭력의 문화가
However, this world is
마치
full of
주인처럼
wars
만연해
and
있습니다.
conflicts.
지금 이 순간에도
At this very
지구촌
moment,
어디엔가는
we can see
전쟁으로 사랑하는
some young people
자녀들과
are
청년들이
dying
죽어가고 있고 어떠한 도덕성도
and
찾아볼
without
수
having
없는
any
현장에서
morality.
여성들은 참혹한
The women
인권 유린을 당하고 있습니다.
have been mistreated, overruling their human rights.
당당하고
As a
생기가
future
넘쳐야
generation,
할
we should
이
have
자녀들이 전쟁과
life
폭력과
full of bright.
테러로 수없이
However,
죽어가는
the
것을
youth
볼 때
members are dying
저는 자녀를
from these
가진
conflicts and wars.
부모로서 너무나도
And as a mother of
가슴이
children,
아픕니다.
I go through the same pain.
뿐만 아니라
And not only that,
전쟁의 원인의 80%
80%
이상이 종교로 인한 갈등에서
of the cause of the
비롯된다는 것을 볼 때
wars are caused by
오늘날의
religion.
종교는
And we can see
본질과는 다르게 분쟁의 핵심이 되기도 합니다.
we can see the religion has become the
종교와
source of all these
신념의 자유를
conflicts.
보장하는 국제적 차원의 합의는 세계
And all the
인권
international law,
선언문이나
human
유엔
rights,
선언문에도 기록돼 있지만
every law has been written well all over the
전쟁,
world.
폭력과
However,
살인을 저지르는 사례가
there are so many
공공연하게
cases
벌어지고
of
있습니다.
mistreating people,
전쟁의 피해자는 대부분 힘없는 청년과
and
여성들입니다.
the most victims are the women and
종교를
youth.
악용해서 개인의
Now,
인권과
religion has been
자유를
misused
짓밟고 폭력과 전쟁을
to
정당화하는
cause all
것은
these wars and
엄연한
conflicts, and we know
범죄입니다.
this is a clear crime.
여러분, 눈앞에 벌어지고 있는 이런
However, all
현실들을
these things, should we just sit around and watch in front of us?
내 자신의 기본적인 자유를 보장받고
We have to protect our own rights, and we have to cease all wars, and we have to have this lasting peace. To do that, all the youth around the world and women in the world have to come and stand before to talk about on this uncomfortable truth,
제도도 필요합니다.
so that we can establish the law.
문제가 있으면
Whenever
마련입니다.
there is a problem, there
전쟁이
should be a
문제면
answer.
문제를 해결할 수 있는 답이 있어야 합니다.
So yes, we should have answer.
IWPG는 그
IWPG,
해답을 2016년에
we found the answer in year 2016 through the DPCW.
이 DPCW 10조 38항은
This DPCW 10 articles and 38 clauses,
완벽하게 보완하여
they have perfect law to
전쟁의
strengthen the
가능성을
existing
찾아서고
law to stop all
평화를
wars,
영구적으로 지속 가능하도록
and it
만드는
is the law
것을
to make
목표로 하고 있습니다.
this law to have the
HWPL의
world
이
with
대표님께서는
everlasting peace.
하늘이 주신 명령과 지혜를
And Chairman
가지고
Lee of HWPL has been working, dedicating his life only for the peace,
지구촌 본래의 모습을 회복하고
to restore the
평화를
world
이룰 수 있는
and to
가장 확실한
achieve world
해답이
peace.
DPCW는
DPCW has the clearest answer.
국제적인 법률 전문가들이 협력하여 만든
This is the
것으로서
law that is established by Chairman Lee and the law experts around the world,
대법원장, 각국의 유엔 대사,
and the former incumbent presidents and the chief justices and the religious leaders are all supporting this law.
여기에 전 세계 모든 청년들과
And all the youth of the world and
37억의
3.7 billion women,
어떠한 명분으로도 전쟁을 원치
we
않는다고
do not
한
want
목소리를 내고
the war in any ways, and we should all shout with one voice and urge this international law. Then And in this generation that we live in, we can seize all wars and achieve world peace and leave it as a legacy to our future generations.
존경하는 오세아니아 지도자 여러분,
Respected all the leaders
청년 여러분,
and youth leaders in this region,
HWPL 이 대표님이 제시하시는 확실한 평화의 답인
DPCW, which is the clearest solution to achieve world peace. Let us work together, let's agree to it, and let us urge all our heads of states to support this law. And all the youth of the world should work together with the IPYG, and 3.7 billion women should work together with IWPG. And let us achieve world peace to seize all wars. Everyone, when we change our heart, we can change our culture. And when we change our culture, we can change the whole world. Let us awake our consciousness of peace and let's make peace culture. And let's protect our children from wars and conflicts and leave peace as a legacy for our future generations. You who are witnessing the work of peace, are witness of the world peace, are the messenger of peace. Let us become one to end all wars and make a world of eternal peace.
We are one.
We are one. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Yoon, for your powerful speech. Through your speech, we can really feel that you are working for the empowerment of women all across the world and that they also have a say in the affairs of the world. After witnessing the devastating effects of war as a soldier in the Korean War, Chairman Lee, who is now 89 years old, dedicated his life for ensuring that the future generation will not undergo the same atrocities. He has traveled around the world 29 times for the peace works, reaching out to all sectors of society to secure world peace. To achieve world peace, the chairman is working with high officials of governments for implementations of an international law for cessation of war, and also for the creation of a lasting solution for peace. Gathering religious leaders to seek their religious insights and for religious harmony, and also the educators to spread a culture of peace through peace education. For this, Chairman Lee has received numerous designations and awards around the world, and we are honored to have him here today. Everyone, we will now call upon the Chairman of Heavenly Culture, World Peace and Restoration of Light. Please give a warm round of applause for Chairman Man-hee Lee.
Yes. From the South countries, all over the people, honorable guests, greetings. Really nice to see you, everyone. I am chairman of HWPL, name Man-hee Lee. Today, everyone who gathered at this place, I'm truly, really happy to see you. We, regardless who we are, everyone desire the peace. I, for the long time, traveled all over the nations and I have met a lot of the people. Not even single one person desired war. Every people, they desire the peace. That is why the peace It must be fulfilled. I believe in it. Everyone,
전쟁을 해봤습니까?
have you ever participated into the war? I.
우리나라 동족 비가
Now, in such a tragedy, big tragedy of Korea, I was in the Korean War. Over there,
전투병으로
I was in the very front line as a combat.
당시
As a soldier, I was there.
청년들과 더불어
At that time, with a lot of the young people, I was into the war. But
원망했습니다.
we all blamed the government and the country as well.
전우들
And all of the soldier friends,
순간에 잃고 또 잃고
we lost them in a sudden,
또
and we
부대가
lost them again and again.
해야지면은 또 구성하고
Again, we are keep fighting again and again and again.
끝나는 것이 아니었어요.
The war was not finished by just a little bit of the hurt.
수만 있다면은
If it is possible, then we have to fight.
더더욱이 동족
And even with the same national people, we are fighting each other. Who gonna like it?
전투 경험이 있었습니다.
We had that kind of experience.
이제 우리는
Now,
이 전쟁은 그만해야
we should
합니다.
stop this war.
모든 종교 세계
Every
역사
religion
안에도
over there,
어떤 말이 기록되어 있나?
every scriptures over there, what is it talking about?
모든 전쟁 혼탁한 세상
In the such a
이러한
end of the age into the
세계가
world,
가고 아주
that
좋은
time will be
세계가
gone and
올해
very good
한다는 말이
word and era will
기록되어 있는
come.
것도 본 적이 있습니다.
I saw that kind of words are written
이와
in the
같이
scripture.
이제는
In the same way, now
평화 시대가 온다는 것을
the era of peace will
확신합니다.
come, and I'm convinced with it.
제가 만나본 모든 사람들
Every people that I
다
met,
평화를 원했습니다.
all of them, they wanted to have a
이러하기에
peace. That is
분명히
why
평화는
I believe
온다고
peace will
봅니다.
definitely come.
그런데
However,
이번 평화
now,
세계는 옳은 것이었는데
peace era will come.
그럼 우리는 어떻게 해야 하겠습니까?
Then what should we do at that time?
역사를 위해서라도
For the
평화를
history,
위해서라도
for the peace,
전쟁이 동식되기
now,
위해서라도
in order to
우리
seize
모두가
the war, all of us,
평화를 이루는
we should
평화의
be the one
사자가
as a
됩시다.
peacemaker,
꼭그
working
말을
for peace.
부탁드리고
That's what I want to
싶습니다.
ask to every one of you here.
후대의 영원한
To your future
역사에
generations,
기록되겠고
forever and ever,
기록이 될
the
것입니다.
history will be recorded
아니,
about you. That is
우리는
why
이
now
일에
we should
동참해서
all participate in
누구나가
this work so
평화의
that I hope
사자가
everyone can be the
되었으면 좋겠습니다.
peacemaker.
여러분들
Everyone,
청년들도
even youth,
이제는
now
전쟁에 희생되지 아니하고
we should not be sacrificed
스스로를
from the world
지키는
anymore,
청년들이
but
되겠고
we should be the youth who can
또
protect ourselves.
우리는 여성
And
무료회
For the
여성들도
women's group,
자녀를
all of the
지키는
women,
일이
they will be the
되겠으며
one who will protect their
이러한
children.
전쟁의 희생을 막는
Like this,
다시는
we should
이러한
never
죽음의
experience
전쟁이
such a
없게 하고
tragic war again.
평화 세계를
But
이루어가는
we should
일이
fulfill
우리
the
모두가
peaceful
한
era.
마음, 한
Everyone,
뜻이
let us to put all of our
된다면
same heart,
이루어질
same
것입니다.
willingness, then it will
꼭
definitely be
이루어질
fulfilled.
것입니다.
It will be
이런 확신합니다.
happen. I'm convinced with it. That is why, everyone,
평화의 사자가
I hope we
됩시다.
can be the peace
이
delegation.
부탁을 여러분들에게
That's what I want to
부탁하고
ask to
싶습니다.
every one of you.
저는
I,
지구촌에 많은 사람들을
in the Glover Village,
만났습니다.
I've met a lot of the
정치인들도,
people,
사회인도,
politicians,
종교인들도
community leaders, even religious leaders.
만난 사람은 만났지만
Every people that I met, none of them wanted to having a war.
이와 같이 이제는
In the same way,
전쟁으로
now
목숨을 잃는
there should be
한
no more
시대가 이제는
single
끝이
person who
난다고
will
봐집니다.
lose their life because of the war. However, the coming age, coming era will be the era of the victory, era of the
이는
peace.
모든 종교 세계에도
For that,
말하는
all of
것이
the
바로
religious word
그것이었습니다.
will be same as well.
하기에
That is
이런
why
때를 놓치지 말고
we should not
우리
lose
모두
this
다
timing, but I hope
평화를
let us be the one who can
평화의
all
사자가 되어야
peacemaker
하겠습니다.
who can achieve the
그러하기
peace.
때문에
That is why
여러분들에게 우리 부탁을
to all of you,
말씀드리겠습니다.
I'm asking
우리
you the
누구나
please,
다
every
자기
single one of
나라
us,
대통령에게도
to your country's
또
president
다른 나라의 대통령에게도
and to the
다른
other
나라의
country's president as
국회에게도
well, to
다른
other
나라의
country's parliament as well,
부원장들에게도
to other
다
countries' leaders
편지를
as well.
써서
Please
그러라
write down
평화세계
the
함께
letters
이루어가자고
so that asking them,
성편지를
please
써주시기
let us achieve the
바랍니다.
peace all together.
그렇게 하면
Please write down with the hand. Then those people, they are the same people. They would having the same mind with us.
그러하기 때문에
That is why
그 말에
let us all,
인정을 할 것입니다.
they will acknowledge us.
이제 이 국제법
Yes, this international law,
유엔에 가 있고
DPCW is now suggested to the
유엔 총회에다
United Nations.
올려서
Now,
투표가 되어질 것입니다.
through the vote,
만에 하나라도
if
만에 하나라도
they're going to be into the poll and the vote,
투표에서
but
통과돼야 되지.
let's say
안 그러면
it must be
전쟁이
past the
계속될
vote.
것이고
If not,
이
then
투표에서
always the word will not be finished.
오케이 되게 되면은
But if this word will be implemented, if this word will be passed, then on this earth true peace can be
전쟁은
achieved.
일어나지 않을 것입니다.
War will not be happen anymore.
또
And
우리 DPCW 10조 38
DPCW,
이대로
10 articles,
하면은
38 clauses.
절대로
If we follow
전쟁이 안
accordingly,
일어납니다.
then there will be no more no more
전쟁이
war.
일어나지
There
아니하면은
will be no more war.
평화가 이루어지는
Then the
것
peace will be
아닙니까?
achieved.
왜 이거를 마다하겠습니까?
Why? Who will gonna deny this thing?
대통령께서도 마다하지 않을
Prime ministers and
것입니다.
presidents, they will not deny
어떤
it.
국회의원도
Even many
마다하지 않을
congressmen, they will not
것입니다.
deny it as well.
29차 때에는
When I
아프리카에
visited
갔던 것이었습니다.
to Africa for the 29th of the peace
아프리카
trip, I was in Africa.
국회의장들
Over there, all of the
연합
congressmen,
사무실이
Senate one,
남아공에 있었습니다.
all of the
그분들은
parliament
거기에
was in
와서
South Africa. So we all
하나같이
gathered
다
in South Africa.
국회의장들이
And then all of the congressmen,
다 기재
they all
서명했습니다.
made a signature for the
얼마나
supporting of the
그분들이라고
DPCW.
해서 전쟁을 원하는 것은
Why?
아니지
Because they don't
않습니까?
want the wars as well.
이와 같이 유럽에도
Likewise,
가서 그 많은 나라들이
Now,
다
to United Nations, when I go there, all of that, many countries, they supported and they gave us a signature as well. That is how all over the nations, they are now wanting and hoping for the peace. Likewise, United Nations are no matter where they are, every places they wanted war.
우리가 안심하고
But doesn't mean we should be relieved and we should be at ease.
손편지를 써서
Let us write down the hand letters to each leaders. Even one person, one letter still, we need to putting an effort. That is how we shall achieve.
이것만은 꼭 그래야 합니다.
I hope we can do it and we must do it. Then
평화가 이루어지는데
peace will happen.
하늘도
Even the heaven,
이 땅에
even
모든
God and
사람들이
heaven,
원하는 것을
now
도와주실
they will
것입니다.
help us because they know what we want.
천사도 도와줄
Angels
것입니다.
will help us as well.
그래 한다면은
Then
평화 세계가 이루어지지
peaceful
않겠습니까?
world will be fulfilled, isn't it?
여러분들은
That is why.
무엇을 후대에 유산으로 남길 것입니까?
What will you inherit to your future
재산입니까?
generation?
권세입니까?
Wealth,
무엇입니까?
power, what?
이런 전쟁 없는 평화 세계를
Let us to
이루어
inherit the
후대에
peaceful world
유산으로 남겨야
to our
합니다.
future generations.
이를 여러분들 생각하시고 이제는
Please consider
온
that
세상 만들어
now.
후대에
Let us
유산이
putting
될수
all of our
있도록
effort to making a peaceful world,
돼야 하겠습니다.
to be making a safe
그래야 하지
future
않겠습니까?
generation. Wouldn't we do?
그러기 위해서
For that,
나 혼자만이 생각할 것이 아니라
we should not being
손편지를
selfish,
써서
but let us
한
to write down the
나라에도
hand letters to send
그렇게
to
함으로
other
해서
each different
평화는
nations.
꼭
Then
이루어질
peace
것입니다.
will definitely come true.
이 유엔에서
This
절대로
United Nations,
이번에는
at this
물론
time, of course,
자기 사사라고 생각에
because of
반대하는
their
나라가
own benefit,
있을지라도
even though there are few countries they will deny, still, if we put all of our heart into one, then I believe it will be fulfilled. Can we do it, everyone?
오늘 이체가 다 지지합시다.
Let us to all today support together. Let us all write down the letters today, everyone.
여러분들,
Everyone,
우리는 하나입니다.
we are one.
예, 지가
Yes, I
선창하겠습니다.
will say first.
위와 원이라고
We are one.
선창하겠습니다.
I will say first.
우리 다 같이
Everyone,
위와 원.
please repeat after
외칩시다.
me. We are one.
위와 원. 예, 감사합니다.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chairman Lee, for your inspiring message of hope. As the Chairman said, at the core of every person is a desire for peace. So if we all pick up the mantle of becoming an advocate for peace, starting with the people in this room and eventually around the world, then surely nothing is impossible. Let's once again give the Chairman a big round of applause. Now, concerning the DPCW, it has been proclaimed on the 14th of March of 2016, and the goal is to create a world without a need for weapons. The ultimate goal of IPYG is to convince all governmental, non-governmental, and other political entities to sign the DPCW and to support the will of the youth. These peace letters that we write is the will of the youth. Let's take another moment to watch a video to have a better understanding about IPYG's current project, the Peace Letters.
Mother, I killed a person today. I threw a grenade, a very dreadful explosive weapon, and took a life instantly. Mother, why must we have war? Right at this moment, there are so many boys next to me, lying face down under the hot sun, as we wait for the enemy, as if we are expecting to face our death. I'm afraid to think about what is going to happen next. Perhaps it might be me that dies today. But no, I will make it alive and come back to you, Mother.
The letter from 68 years ago could not save anyone. But our letters today can save many lives. Peace letter, handwritten letters of peace. Because no one should have to die too soon without ever reaching the prime of their lives. We found a way to protect ourselves. Step 1. We send letters written by the youth from around the world who want peace to the national leaders. Step 2. Please help build a world of peace by supporting the 10 articles and 38 clauses of the DPCW. Step 3. One by one, letters carry their voices. When hundreds of thousands of letters echo the shout for peace, peace will come true. We may look different, but our lives account for the same. We may speak different languages, but our cry for peace are equal. Without the youth, there is no tomorrow. Small actions, great impact. Peace letter. Build a peaceful tomorrow together.
Through this Peace Letter project, national leaders from 7 countries, the Republic of Korea, South Africa, Indonesia, Bosnia-Herzegovina, got it, New Zealand, Malaysia, and Namibia have received letters from their youth so far. I'm sure if the youth in Australia continue to show their support for this peace work, leaders in Australia will also receive some youthful love. The main objective of the letters are to make known the 10 articles and 38 clauses based on the DPCW and Declaration of World Peace proclaimed on the 25th of May 2013. Adopting this declaration ensures achieving a world of safety and peace. When heads of states around the world sign the DPCW, surely this will make more possibility to transform it into a legally binding document worthy to be recognized on an international level by raising the implementations through the United Nations and its Security Council. All this will be made with the help of the youth, the power of the youth. Right now, in this very moment, we have the opportunity to launch a new era of sustainable and permanent peace, representing youth who will lead Australia to peace and harmony. Fa'alia Luisa Mariko, the representative of Samoan youth, will read the peace letter and deliver the voice of youth to the Governor-General of Tuvalu, the Honourable Iakoba Taya Italeli.
Oh wow, there's a lot of you. To our DPCW HWPL board, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. And to the rest of our representatives from various religious affiliations, as well as many Pacific nations, welcome and thank you for coming and taking your time to be with us today. I stand here representing the youth of Samoa, which is a small island nation within the Pacific region. It's a very small nation. If there are any other Samoans here, talofa lava. That was just simply hello in a formal way. Okay. So, like many of you within this room, I also had the task of writing a letter to the members of various governments and head of states within the various within the region of the Pacific. While I guess letters may seem as something that's quite simple and an overlooked tool, it's a tool that can actually be used to establish peace. While being very simple, as a collective, it can actually make a significant and positive impact, not only within the Pacific region, but also globally. So today, I will read you the letter that I've written. Ooh. Sorry. Right. So, dear Honourable, sincere and warm greetings to you as I write this letter or read it. Peace is a word that is used in our daily vocabulary, often in a light manner. For many, it is an important issue. However, it is also something that we forget the value of. When people ask, what is Samoa like? My first thought is always peaceful, which is generally true. However, peace was not always part of the history of Samoa. Samoa had faced wars and conflicts in its past. These wars and conflicts, like many, brought about loss, pain, instability, and loss of security. Samoa today, though, has progressed and no longer face those things. However, it cannot be guaranteed that conflicts will not arise in the future. For many other nations and groups in this world, conflicts and war are a reality for them today. Many are facing these things on a daily basis, and many are victims of the brutality that these things bring about. As an Australian Samoan youth, and as a member of the youth of this world, I have a duty to stand up and protect the youth of our nation, the youth of Australia, and the youth of the world. A duty where I cannot stand by idly and not take action. I have a duty to help bring hope and peace to the world. Through HWPL's DPCW, which is a Declaration of Peace and Cessation of War, I am able to fulfill that duty and have hope that this peace can most certainly be a reality locally, nationally, and globally. Currently, HWPL and IPYG are working closely to spread the culture of peace all around the world. The 30th World Peace Tour is to help bring forth peace and harmony between various cultures, religions, and ethnicities in hopes of establishing a constructive relationship among the oceanic nations. Therefore, at this time, I urge you to please think about the future that you want to leave for the generations to come. Honourable Member and members, we humbly ask that you be a part of the forefront in the Oceanic and Pacific region in providing your support for world peace and the solution that the DPCW brings. We ask for your support of the DPCW to become a legally binding document in the United Nations and for it to bring about the peace that our world longs for. Please, be a leader that helps pave the way for peace for future generations. Yours sincerely, Falia. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Mariko. I could tell you were quite nervous, but with courage and passion, you overcame. Let's give her another round of applause. The voices of the youth urging for peace have reached national leaders around the world. And today we have this meaningful time to receive an open letter from the Governor General of Tuvalu, the Honorary Iacoba Teia Italeli, in response to the letters expressing the wills of the youth of his country. It is my honor to be introducing this special time for everyone. So please join me in welcoming His Excellency with a round of applause.
Thank you. May I say in my own language, Talofa. Alofa. The Honorable Chairman of HWPL, Chairman Lee, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, youth leaders and advocates of peace, it is indeed a great honor to be invited and stand here with the youth of today to promote peace in our regional and in our global society. Dear youth who love peace, first of all, I would like to thank you for writing this letter with a powerful and motivational heart for peace in this world. I am very honored to receive your sincere heart. I was able to see and feel the ardors of youth, which these days are rare to find, but seeing so many of passionate youth feelings in this conference hall, I must say, I am truly struck by all of you, everyone. War is a threat itself to the human society, and it leads to many other negative impacts to the nearby environment and in our global society, such as refugee crisis, economic crisis, education crisis, social unrest, and much other negative impact which it brings. For the most, it takes away the opportunity of youth to bloom their life, but lose at all the war field. We have to realize there are still unimaginable numbers of victims in sufferings where blood of innocent are shared from war and conflict. And sometimes we seem to overlook and pass by as if this is natural part of cycle of life. It is not. Statistically and currently, there are estimating over 60 million of refugees worldwide fleeing from their own countries, from their homes, due to the war and conflict in their part of the world. I, as the HWPL Advisory Council member and the Governor General of Tuvalu, the smallest island in the Pacific, sees the importance of the need for the DPCW and see fitting in the international framework for the abolition of war and call upon the leaders of the world today to take into consideration for the implementation of DPCW in Pacific region and international field for the abolition of war. Additionally, education plays a vital role in achieving peace and is fundamental to human rights. And as Nelson Mandela says, education, and I quote, education is the powerful tool to change the world. End of quote. So it is so fitting that youth must advocate peace in their part of the world. As you may all know, proper education is what creates qualities and ingredients to ensure an equitable and sustainable development in the global society. Based on the Article 10 of DPCW, peace education that HWPL provides to plant the seed of values of peace into the hearts of students will be the most significant tool of spreading the culture of peace and founding sustainable peace. I must say here that peace is not only the absence of war. It comes from the heart. It is not a question of religious belief. It is a question of the unity of the heart for peace and love. And love, we know, the attributes of love are forgiveness, reconciliation, and tolerance. As the leaders of the world today, we are responsible for securing the peaceful world without wars. And we must leave for our children a legacy where the youth may spread their wings as wide as they can, fulfilling their dreams without fearing being dragged into wars. I feel sorry and grateful for not being able to have done what had to be done long time ago. However, now I have received your letter or your hearts through the letters and will make the best of my effort to realize the world you dream to come true. I will do my best to encourage the rest of the world to support DPCW so that we may bring the better future for the youth. Thank you. Please, have big dreams and live them. Be ambitious and have grand hopes. I am very much pleased and excited to see the future that will be created with your hands. Let us unite together with HWPL and IPUIG and bring peace to this world. I urge you, youth, to know the purpose of your existence on this planet. The Creator, we believe, He created us for a purpose. Not for an experiment. Not for fun. So if you believe in that, you must seek for the purpose that you are living on this planet. And make use of that. Once again, I would like to sincerely express my gratitude to Chairman of HWPL, the Honorable Man Healy, being in the forefront of his noble task, being resolute and dedicated in promoting peace in this time of crisis to our global society. We understand that our world is a world of problem, it's a world of crisis. There are many difficulties facing us, but I remind you, youth, they are not impossible. With faith in God, everything is possible. And I do believe this is not an achievement for one individual. However, we share joint responsibilities to act as global citizens to promote peace and reconciliation and build a society benefiting the human families in solidarity. Once again, I thank the HWPL for providing us this wonderful platform for us, and wish all for a fruitful time in Sydney. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much for your sincere message, Honorable Italelli. To receive an open letter from a national leader in itself is an inspiration for all of us, but to have such a powerful message that comes from that open letter really is something that is really, it's so beautiful, and I just want to say thank you so much. We are currently facing a historical moment because the youth leaders from all around the world really are speaking to their leaders, urging for peace. Right now, from 12 countries, we have youth who will deliver their hearts for peace with their peace letters to their respective representatives of their nations. This moment will prove the power of the youth to lead this world towards peace and the promise of our national leaders to leave peace as a legacy for future generations. Please call upon the 12 youth leaders to come up to the front. Because the plan is to have these letters delivered to the national leaders by our honored guests, we ask that our guests to receive these letters with the heart of a national leader. As our youth leaders hand over these letters to our guests, please share in this meaningful and symbolic moment with a round of applause. Can we please pass on the letters? We appreciate that all our honored guests have listened to the voice of the youth on behalf of their country and for gracefully receiving the letters. Now that they have accepted the peace letters, may I ask our honored guests to write a short message in response to the peace letters that they have just received. Everyone, please join me in encouraging them and to give them a round of applause as they write their response. Once we have completed writing the messages, may I now ask our honored guests to return the letters to our youth leaders. May we all stand up and pass it back to our youth leaders. May I ask all the youth leaders to turn around and face this way? We'll take a photo with everyone. May I ask the youth leaders to please face the front?
Here we go. We can do it. Come on. Hey, here we go.
우리 모두 원한 평화 세상 전 세계가 원한 평화 세상 웃음이 가득한 평화 세상 만들자 I can do it 사람들은 모두 평화 세상 전쟁이 없는 평화의 세상 행복이 가득한 평화 세상 만들자 We can do it 평화를 원하는 청년들이여 이제는 우리가 만들어가자 평화를 원하는 청년들이여 이제는 우리가 달려갈 시간 We can do it 할 수 있다 열정으로 하나 된 청년들
Okay, everyone. Apparently our passion is so strong that it's shaking the camera. So the cameraman has requested us to keep still and to do a We Are One pose. Okay, so when he gives the direction, please do We Are One. And to all the youth leaders, can we open our letters and face it towards the camera? Yes, wide open. Okay, so I'll call out, We Are One, everyone please do it, and for 5 seconds, please be still, okay? Are you guys ready? All right. Wow. We are one! Thank you very much, everyone. I would like to finish off this event with a closing remark. On this ship called Earth, there are no passengers. We are all crews. This ship of ours it is not just a place that we visit and then we go away, never to come again. This is our home, and it will continue to remain our home and for our children's and all our descendants to come after them. Let us work together to start treating the world like it is our home. Change can only come if there are those who are willing to initiate it. Remember, we all have a weapon. The pen, the paper, and of course, our voice, our minds, and our hearts. These are the weapons that we can use. Let's use them to bring the change that a world exhausted from violence and injustice so desperately needs. Let's work together to bring about lasting peace. Remember, youth make tomorrow, unity and harmony. Thank you, everyone. Oh. Okay. Let's start that again. Thank you, everyone, for joining this conference today. Now we'll wrap everything up, and I believe we will take one more group photo. Am I right? One more group photo? Where's the peace letters? Technical difficulty, just one moment. Okay. Okay, technical difficulty is over. We will not be taking any further photos because I believe the cameraman is saying the one we had before was just fine. Okay, so thank you very much, everyone, for joining our conference. I hope you have a lovely day. Okay, thank you very much.